Global stock markets are having a rough time right now, all thanks to new tariffs from the US president. The move is shaking up investor confidence around the world, especially in places like Asia and Africa, where economies rely heavily on exports. Major stock indexes in London, Tokyo, and Seoul have dropped fast, and people are worried this could snowball into a full-blown trade war. Governments are now scrambling to calm markets, but the uncertainty is real. Oil prices are also sliding. Brent crude and US oil benchmarks are both down, and that's bad news for countries that depend on oil to stay afloat. Think Nigeria, Angola, and Algeria. They could be facing budget gaps and slowed growth. The issue isn't just about price drops, it's also about big buyers like China and India slowing down, which could mean demand won't bounce back anytime soon. Meanwhile, Bitcoin is booming. As traditional markets get shaky, more people are turning to crypto, sending Bitcoin above $78,000. Investors in Asia are leading the charge, seeing it as a safer bet, or at least a high-risk, high-reward alternative. But it's not all good news. Governments in India and China are looking to crack down, worried about scams and financial chaos in a largely unregulated space. The World Economic Forum just released its latest risk report, and it paints a pretty worrying picture. Top concerns include the threat of war, extreme weather disasters, and the wildfire spread of misinformation. In Asia, tensions like the ones between China and India are heating up. In Africa, droughts and floods are hitting hard. And across the globe, disinformation is messing with elections and public trust, especially in places where democracy is still growing. Hungary is making headlines for leaving the International Criminal Court. The government says the ICC is biased, especially after it issued a warrant for Israeli PM Netanyahu. Critics say Hungary's exit sends the wrong message, especially to victims of war crimes in places like Sudan and the Congo. It also fits into a wider trend of countries pulling away from global institutions. SpaceX just pulled off a huge milestone. Their Fram 2 mission became the first crewed flight to enter a polar retrograde orbit, basically a rare path that lets us study the Earth from new angles. This kind of data could be a game changer for climate research. Countries like India with growing space programs are watching closely and might jump in with their own missions. In South Korea, things are tense. The country's constitutional court just removed President Yoon Suk-yeol from office over corruption allegations. This has sparked protests, celebrations, and a lot of political division. South Korea is a key player in global trade and diplomacies, especially with North Korea, so this leadership shakeup could have ripple effects far beyond the peninsula. Across Asia, stock markets are taking a hit. Countries like India, Taiwan, and South Korea are seeing major sell-offs, mostly in tech and export sectors. With global demand dipping and trade uncertainty rising, investors are nervous. Central banks are being pressured to act fast, but some are wondering whether stimulus packages will be enough. And in East Africa, there's a growing crisis. A massive locust invasion is tearing through crops in Kenya, Ethiopia, and Somalia, and it's threatening food supplies for millions. Climate shifts have helped the swarms grow faster, and the damage is already severe. Aid agencies are stepping in, but the situation is so big that even international help might not be enough.